In a world that is so cluttered with leadership, propaganda, Chuck really did seem to find some insights that I didn't have prior to this.
His presentation style is exciting, it's fun, it doesn't include PowerPoints, which is actually a relief.
It was like he was having a conversation with the audience.
His insights were fascinating. They were fresh, they were different, they were not common.
And that's what I really think is the genius behind his presentation style.
We talked about emotional intelligence, we talked about leadership styles, we talked about how it drives working climate. I've given you 5 suggestions for adding greater value as a leader. The question is, are you going to be a rock star or are you going to be a rock? It's your call. I think if you put some of these suggestions in place, you're going to be well on your way to being a rock star.
I love his, it's not a PowerPoint presentation. His illustrations were great.
They were clear, they were to the point. I loved the little characters that he had.
And he does it so beautifully. Just, a short little sketch and pictures with 1,000 words, or in his case, sometimes 10,000.
You really can apply anything that he says almost directly to a situation that you've been in or are soon to be in.
It identified gaps for me in my process. And as he was presenting that, I sat back and I went, oh, that's what I did wrong. Right.
I'm a firm believer that you have to keep reinventing yourself as a market and everything changes. And I liked his style, and he gave many possible tips on how to do that to build a positive culture within your direct reports and your company.
He gave some really nice concrete ways to approach feedback from your clients, from your direct reports, from your peers. And that was really helpful.
Feedback really is a breakfast of champions. Now, a lot of people, when you say, you need to get some feedback, like, oh, I really don't want to get feedback. That's painful. I'd rather not know. Well, the reality is feedback is something you need to know because it's perceptions of your behaviors that are already out there.
It really is going to make me be a little more reflective, really kind of seek out more feedback, and I think that was another great area that he talked about, and, anxious to go back and, talk to some other people about how we could do that better at our office.
The other really big takeaway for me as I start my own business is how do you invent a culture from scratch?
I would want to create real clarity around what is the purpose of the organization and where are we headed.
The 6 top styles of leadership were really important to me.
We tend to use these styles, one of them or in combination together to try to accomplish work, to try to get objectives completed. And you may not know of all these styles by their names, but intuitively you know them and you use these styles.
As he was talking, I think a lot about different situations that come about at work and how I might better address those.
This is an action step for me this year, and so I thank him for that.
He's just a real wealth of wisdom, and I'm glad I was able to be here.